According to the Humane Society, animal shelters care for 6 to 8 million cats and dogs, and approximately out of that, 3 to 4 million are euthanized in the U.S. Hi, my name is Jessica Collins, and I would like to thank you all for joining me today. I know you guys already volunteer a lot at Austin Pets Alive, but my goal today is to try to encourage you to get more involved at the Bastrop Animal Shelter. That's what I'm going to be talking about. I would like for you guys to hold your questions until the end. I did pass a handout out that you guys can kind of follow along with. It's a fact sheet. So I'm going to be talking about 3 things today. I'm going to start out with just talking about Bastrop Animal Shelter to kind of get you guys more, aware of what they do there. Also, what you would be doing if you volunteered, and then lastly, potential outcomes and benefits for having you guys involved. So the Bastrop Animal Shelter is located in Bastrop, Texas, and it's actually 10 minutes out of Bastrop. And for those of you that aren't familiar, it's 45 minutes away from Austin. And they have a no refusal policy, so this means they can't be selective on what pets they take in. So when owners surrender or they pick up strays, they can't turn them away because of their breed or their age. And they take in cats, dogs, horses, all types of livestock. It is a kill shelter, unfortunately, so the facility isn't as big. So they have 90 kennels, and once they meet capacity, they have to actually make a euthanasia list and start euthanizing. And then they have limited volunteers. And I'm not sure if this is because they're located further outside of Bastrop and people don't even know they can get involved in the shelter. Like maybe there need to be more advertising. And I wanted to briefly talk to you guys about Austin Pets Alive. I know a lot of you are already involved. They are selective on what they intake. They're more targeting pets that are going to get adopted out because they are a no-kill shelter. They also have multiple facilities, so they'll transfer pets around, through Austin to San Antonio, and a lot of volunteers because it's in, central Austin. So this is why we're really trying to encourage you guys to get more involved because we do a lot of work with them, which I'll get more into a little later on. So now I'm going to go into what you guys would actually be doing. So when I volunteered earlier this week, I actually had the opportunity to walk like 25 dogs and get them out of their kennels because they're kind of excited, do a lot of work with them to figure out where they're at, so desensitizing, figuring out who's friendly, who's house trained, who's good on a leash, for example. Also grooming, feeding, cleaning all the runs, keeping it nice and clean for when people come by. And then also what we'll do is Austin Pets Alive will call and see if we have specific breeds or sizes. And if we do, we'll actually transfer them, and the volunteers actually get to drive them to Austin or San Antonio. And another thing we do is community stuff. So like we'll bring a group of them to Petco over the weekend and try to get them adopted out. And lastly, educating the public about shelters. A lot of people have no idea how many animals are in shelter and they're going to be euthanized. So really stressing to the public, spaying and neutering your pets, breeding's all well and good, but then you have, hundreds and millions of pets that are going to be euthanized yearly. There is an actual volunteer group in Bastrop that goes around and tries to get more of the public aware of all this. And lastly, another example I wanted to speak about is you can see on the fact sheet, 70 million people own at least one pet, which is a huge number, and 5,000 are actually entered into a shelter yearly, which is a big number. And you get the knowledge of learning why people even surrender pets. Like some people have pets until they're like 5 or 6 and just bring them by and drop them off because they don't want to take care of them or they're moving, and it's really sad. So then lastly, I wanted to talk about potential benefits from you guys getting more involved. I think a big one is if we had more volunteers, it'd be more time to actually get to know the dogs. So when people come in, instead of just picking the cutest one, it'd be like, I'm looking for something that's good on a leash, well behaved inside, or certain traits, instead of just going by and being like, oh, he's pretty, and then they get home and he chews or barks, and then they have to bring him back. So they're going through different homes. And then also if they had more human interaction, I don't think they'd be as spastic when people come in, because I know when I go, they're crazy and nobody wants to adopt a crazy dog. But you can't blame them. If they only get yard time for 10 minutes once a week, that makes them even harder to adopt out. So I think that would be, a huge benefit, and also just making the public aware. So many people don't know. So in conclusion, I want to go back over, my goal today was to get you guys to really consider and think about maybe expanding your volunteer work out to Bastrop, even if it's once out of the month. That's some more time for these animals to have human interaction. And some of the benefits, once again, just getting them more human interaction, maybe getting them out in the public more, and the opportunity to transfer into a shelter where they'll get adopted. And the vision and future, that the shelter is trying to accomplish is more dogs in permanent homes and less dogs getting euthanized. So I'd like to thank you all for your time, and do you have any questions?